So it's another day and I'm starting on the cabinet for the TV surround. I've utilized my car lift as a workbench, as I usually do. So it's just a basic frame, pine, and use the pocket hole jig. Makes it kind of easy to put together. I don't really know if I'm going to wrap this in plywood or I've got some tongue and groove that I'll probably end up using, kind of like a shiplap type thing. Anyhow, thought I'd show you what it looks like here on the workbench, and I'll show you the basic jig that I used for the pocket holes. So I think I got this off of Harbor Freight. Works pretty good. And then I've got the Craig set up here, and then all the screws. So makes putting together these frames pretty easy. Well, here's the next stage in the evolution of the cabinet. So I was gonna face this in that tongue and groove that I had, but it would have been ugly. So turned out the frame that I made looked decent enough, so I decided to put panels in there and kind of make it look cool. I've got the sides that I need to cut. Then I need to go get a countertop for it. But first, before I go any further, I need to go in the RV and put in a couple extra outlets behind that'll tuck up in this cabinet, and redo the plumbing for the water fill for the new freshwater tank. So I'm going to take this and turn it into this. So we got 4 outlets here. TV mechanism, soundbar, and then subwoofer, or the subwoofer for the soundbar. And let's see, what else have I done? We've got our water fill routed underneath here. There's no low spots, and then it just kind of drops down into there. As far as the vent line, I'm not sure I'm going to hook it up to here. I might route the vent somewhere else, or I'll go through there. I'm not sure yet. But we're properly clamped and secured. Everything clears, as it should. Yep. And then send it back up. Now I chose not to route the HDMI cable to this. I basically just have the HDMI arc going from the TV to the soundbar. Reason being is we usually just hotspot and do Wi-Fi, and being it's a smart TV, we have access to pretty much anything. If we go to a camp spot where there is no internet or Wi-Fi is terrible, then I'll probably have a Xbox up here, and I'll just plug the HDMI cord in and just let it hang out. But for 90% of what we do, we don't use. So this is the big massive HDMI cables that Thor had installed. One went to the outdoor TV, one's there, and then one's in the back TV. I don't think we're going to use any of them. One of them got damaged, so I'm just going to have to cut that off anyhow. The other two will just coil up in here and save. No reason to unconnect or disconnect them. Well, I've got the countertop for the cabinet. Cabinet's sitting right over here. I went with an ebony stain, and it matches the old cabinetry pretty well. Here's the old one. Here's the new. So on this counter, it's a butcher block, 1.5 inch thick. So I decided I wanted the TV to pop up out of the middle. And I got to thinking about it, and I thought if I just did 90-degree cuts, it's possible that when it goes down it might bind up, because, you know, things are going to move a little bit. So I went with 30-degree bevels. Let's see here. Now the idea is, when this raises and lowers out of the cabinet, it'll automatically seat itself and lock itself in, like so. Now I had to take the whole piece and cut 48 inches, or trimmed it down. This piece is 7.5 inches. This is 7.5 inches. So I did a 30-degree cut there, and then I ripped it lengthwise here and here. Now, of course, the width of the blade changes all the dimensions. So when I glue just the frame of this back together, we'll take this guy out. Set it right there. So when I glue the frame back together, this will just be one solid piece. And we've got a 30-degree pocket here. And then this guy's just going to slide right in. Here's another shot of the countertop. It's all glued together. There we go. Cool. Now, my skills as a carpenter are not good enough to make sure that these line up. Of course, this lines up. And then we've got the width of the blade here. And then the width of the blade here, which then throws these off as well. And then I have to trim that. I'm sure there's probably a way to have that all lined up, but I could have, well, then I would have had multiple cuts probably. I don't know. Again, like I said, my skills as a carpenter are not that great. Show you the bottom side. So I did the pocket screws again. Oh, that's heavy. Okay, we're making a little bit of progress here. I've got the seat belts in. I decided to use the seat belts from the jackknife side rather than the dinette side. They're longer and will function better. And also, I did not use the brackets from the dinette. I just duplicated what they did on the jackknife side, and used the through bolts, and actually put some nylon nuts on there, so double knotted them. They are not coming out. And I cleaned up the electrical back here, put in the outlet for the sofa. This is about as far back as the, oh, hi cat, how's it going? What do you think? Don't you claw these chairs? This is about as far back as the chairs are going to go, so there's plenty of clearance. And that looks far better than what it was. And I've got the outlet in there for the center section, which has to be plugged in. It's got lights and USB ports and all that jazz. So next step is to mount this down and then put them in stages, because one has to click into the other. As far as hardware that I got some leg bolts. If I run into metal frame underneath, I have these. So either way, I've got it covered. And I've got a big mess, but I'm cleaning up as I go. We're getting there. Ooh, I better take that bracket down first. Yep. I think it's time to test this sofa out. Got power. Got lights. Got swivel thingies. And remote. TV up and down thing. So I'm going to build the cabinetry around it. But I've got it mounted to the floor and to the back of the outdoor TV cabinet.